Hello everyone, I'm Bart and this is Movie Duo. My lovely co-host is actually very busy taking a nap as she was playing really hard. So let's get started. In Movie Duo I would like to review movies, TV shows, anime or games. If there's anything you'd like to talk about, any movie, TV show, game, just drop a comment. If I can or I already seen it, I'm more than happy to record a review and talk about it with you. If you have different opinion, that's even better. We can just compare them and we can see why we didn't kind of click in the same way on that particular subject. So, welcome and let's get started. So let's talk about James Gunn, Superman. Every now and then Hollywood takes a new attempt of telling the same story again. Not every time it has the same impact on us. It might depend obviously where we are, what we are doing, what's happening in our life, what age we are. This all brings different approach to what we are watching and how we are watching, how we feel about it. Because for me it was always most important the feeling. Because it's not about what I am seeing, it's more about how I feel while I'm watching it. And I think this is not my Superman. To set the tone, I'm not saying you have to hate it or you should love it. You can form your own opinion. What is important for me is obviously how I felt about this film, and that's why I'm here to share that with you. Man of Steel and Zack Snyder, Henry Cavill, they set up the bar for me how the Superman should look like and how I would like to feel while I'm watching a story like that. Story about superhero, the actions, the drama, everything is connected for me. And unfortunately, the new Superman doesn't live up to it. I didn't have big expectations from the beginning when I heard that we are getting the restart of the new Superman. Unfortunately, the new take didn't surprise me. Like I said, I didn't have much expectations, but even this level of expectations was not reached. And I think that says something about, for me at least, about this film. For me, DC was always a darker universe than Marvel. And I think what Warner wanted to do is to bring James Gunn, who was successful with Guardian of the Galaxy, to give a new take, obviously a new start for the DC universe that was obviously a bit in trouble. There was a lot of ups and downs, a lot of inconsistent approaches, and unfortunately we had really great films, but we had really as well quite a few bad ones in the past 2 decades. And the new take of James Gunn, I don't really like it. I think apart from the Mr. Fantastic and the dog, obviously you can't dislike the dog no matter what you do and say about this film, you can't dislike the dog. Apart from these two parts, I don't really find anything else that I would say I like it. There's not really much of the film I enjoyed. And this is because mostly that the story didn't captivate me. And I might say a few things, so this is kind of spoiler-free review most of the time, but I might say a few things about the beginning of the movie, so if you haven't seen it and you would like to avoid that, just skip a minute or two and I think you will be safe. But what is the starting point of this film is basically nothing for me. We start from some text that is setting up our story, and then we land in the middle of nowhere. Just the action, we don't know, apart from obviously few lines of the text, what happened, why is happening. And this is clearly a new approach from the James Gunn, who recently said that he's not interested to seeing again the pearls started breaking in the alley in the Batman, the spider that is biting the hand of Peter Parker, or a baby traveling from Krypton to Earth. And I think I can't disagree more with what he said. Because these are iconic scenes, iconic moments in the film industry that every movie should have. And why is that? Imagine pizza without cheese, or spaghetti without pasta. Like, you have certain ingredients that cannot be missed, and this film doesn't have them. I kind of understand why you want to reinvent the wheel, but I don't think so it works this time. I think the DC and Warner Bros. Had really great team, great actors, and a great story they could follow up instead of trying to put a new start. And what I didn't like is obviously the story that for me is very inconsistent. There are actions and decisions taken by the characters and obviously by the director, why he's leading the story, that for me doesn't make sense or logic. I'm kind of like wondering, why is that? What is happening? Why is this for? What is even sense of it right now at this point? And I couldn't find this chemistry between the characters. I couldn't find my chemistry towards them. I didn't feel them. For me, they were empty, shallow people on the screen trying to tell me the story that didn't resonate with me, didn't interact with me, and especially what I felt about it. And that is very important for me, so that was already a big kind of put off. But not only the story and the actor choices felt not in place, but also all the technical side of the film didn't feel right. Maybe because obviously I prefer the darker side, and James Gunn is bringing this colorful, friendly, I would say even kindergarten version of the story. And it feels like sometimes when you watch Sunday Family movie, very light, very friendly, not really much of action, a lot of talking, and I didn't like that. I didn't like the special effects, I didn't like the costumes, I didn't like the music. That is very important. It's actually more than 50% of the movie success. You feel pictures through the sound. And obviously Hans Zimmer did a great job with the score for Man of Steel. Sometimes it was for me feeling like I'm watching a silent film. Like I'm watching just the pictures, but I don't feel it, I don't hear it. And special effects were okay, but as well didn't amaze me. So all these elements, actors, scenography, music, script, the whole story, the director choices, all of these are the reason the movie didn't click with me. And my score is unfortunately an F. So it's like 2 out of 10 or 1 out of 5, depends what metrics you are using. This is not the film I will be coming back again, not intend to. I rather rewatch for the 200th time Man of Steel or even older version of the Superman rather than come back to this. That doesn't mean we can't talk about it. I'm here to hear you out. If you have different opinion, please share with me. If you like this movie, tell me why. We don't have to agree on our opinions to discuss. We can be on different sides of the fence and we can still have a good fun talking about the film. So this is my take and my review of Superman, James Gunn. So, Anya, how many paws would you like to rate the Superman? None? I think you're a bit too harsh, you know? But let's summarize the film. First of all, I would like to say that my opinion doesn't reflect the actors and the great work they did on the film and all the people that obviously created this film. A lot of people work on this movie and I'm sure they love it. I just, for some reason, couldn't resonate with it. Like I say, it didn't click with me. It's more like, you know, when you go to the shop and you see some clothes and when you see and look at them on the mannequin, you think like, okay, this is a great choice. But when you put on yourself, it doesn't look that great anymore. And that's how I feel about this film. When I was looking at the trailer, I had some hopes that maybe I would like it. But at the end, when I watch it, I don't. So this is just it.